when the road gets rough. It's how we treat the least of these that shows who we are, who we really are. It's how we treat the least of these. It's how we act when the road gets rough. It's how we treat the least of these that shows who we really are. We're not defined by the words that we speak or the day of the week that we choose to appear meek and uniquely gathered to discuss doctrinal matter. That is not who we are. The length of our skirt matters not to the needy when their bellies are empty. So gently, let's pull back the cover and rediscover the essence of us being here on this planet. We exist to make him visible. Our job is to show the dying world the visible, invisible Christ. The moment you take on his name, you aim to proclaim his love, but instead we proclaim and complain and profane his name. When you come out of the watery grave, you in effect say that you will daily empty yourself in order to show them him. But instead, we lobby in the hobbies to legislate change when instead we've been called to be a light that the world cannot ignore because of our love, not because of our political might. Light cannot be heard, so why do we discuss it? Light can only be seen, so let us present it with our deeds. Light cannot be heard, so why are we talking? Light can only be seen, so let us show them who he is. Please, we are too busy pointing fingers, so we fail to use our whole hands to assist the long lines of those who've been dismissed by society, quietly confirming what they know to be true, that we speak, but do not do that which we've been called to do, which is to make the invisible God visible. Each breath we are given is to complete this task, to show the world that he does exist and that his love does endure forever. But wrapped in our ivory towers, we're kept clean and pristine, so his love is unseen. This is obscene. Our insistence on speaking and keeping but not sharing and living out his love, and so instead we make a mockery of the very thing we profess to possess. Unless we address this issue, we make much ado about nothing because this says who we really are. It's how we treat the least of these. It's how we act when the road gets rough. It's how we treat the least of these that shows who we really are. You see, we got it twisted thinking it's about the rules we follow or the words we speak that have now become so shallow, draped beneath our pseudo-piety used to solve our burgeoning echoes while the world is crying for help. Each breath you take but fail to make a difference with is wasted. Each breath you take but fail to make a difference with is wasted. Each breath I take but fail to make a difference with is wasted only until your reaction defines your heart, until it breaks with sorrow over the death of a lost one, until your knees ache because you were on them till daybreak, pleading, begging God to give you one more day to impact one more life, earnestly beseeching, asking him to cover the people you love with mercy so they can see the light you show, until your first reaction is not to accuse but to rescue, to save the depraved, until your conscience chooses assistance that crosses the distance to those in needs in Haiti, in Sudan, in China, in Congo, in Afghanistan, in Myanmar. We don't act in order to show love. We are in love with God, and so the things that break his heart move us to act out of our love of him. We are not what we believe, we are not what we speak, but we are what we do. And that is why on the days when the skies part and Christ will return for his bride, many of us will be found wanting. Singing and wanting, church going and wanting, Bible thumping, verse memorizing and wanting, long skirt wearing, bookie car driving and wanting, no alcohol drinking or ear piercing or NIV reading and still wanting, vegetarian food eating, Sabbath school lesson teaching and still wanting. Because it's how we treat the least of these. It's how we act when the road gets rough. It's how we treat the least of these that shows who we really are. It's how you treat the least of these. It's how I act when the road gets rough. It's how we treat the least of these that shows who we really are. Thank you.